It's the new year, and I'm wanting to do a video that's fun, and something where I can practice some new video editing tricks. So today, I'm making a video on making videos, with videos in videos about making videos.
We're through the looking glass here, people.
So let's get started with step 0. Why 0, you ask? Well, that's a good question. It's nice to see that you're already engaged on this clearly gripping and important subject. I'm calling it 0 because I already typed out the entirety of the script before I remembered that this was a thing, and I don't rightly feel like going back and changing everything. So I'm lazy is the long short of it. Step 0 is checking the potential search engine optimization for a future video. Because my channel is new and I'm still expanding, I don't just make the videos I want to make. I have to think about the fact that I don't get a whole lot of organic traffic yet, and I only have about a dozen or so subscribers. So most of the traffic I do get comes from directly promoting my videos, plugging them into relevant groups which don't actually mind me posting videos in the first place, which are increasingly hard to come by because of the outright scammers who go to a terminal cancer support group on Facebook and share videos about long-term investments. Search engine optimization on YouTube boils down to what's in the title of your video, how much that subject is searched for, and how much competition there is out there. So at this point, if I want to just do something for fun without any thought whatsoever of growing my channel or making any decent kind of point, I pretty much only do so if I'm learning a new video editing skill or something like that. Like this video example where I'm using video and video for the first time. Now onwards to step 1, writing a script. This doesn't really apply to my bad dates videos as I'm recalling those from my hazy recollection, but if you've noticed, I've been moving away from those videos as I obviously only have so many stories to tell, and I'm quickly running out. Now I'm having to come up with some more captivating content, and a lot of it requires a bit more structure than I'm used to. So either I sit in front of the camera and spend an hour rambling about some borderline incoherent nonsense and have to splice it and dice it later on in order to get some kind of point across, or I write a script and try to get it right from the jump. The time it takes to do this boils down to whether or not I'm in the zone when I sit down and try to tippity-tap out some content, but I would say it averages about an hour of writing for every 10 minutes worth of video. Step 2 is the background research. This kind of takes place before, during, and after the script phase, so I wasn't entirely sure where to place this, but it's that all-important check and balance to make sure that I'm not completely talking out of my ass. Naturally, the time it takes to do this boils down to how complex the topic is, and ultimately how controversial. It takes just as much time to weed out bad sources of information as it does to study good ones. On average, I would say this takes about 3 hours for every 10-minute video. Step 3 is the recording phase, which used to be the most complicated part. I have an anxiety issue. I need quiet, which with these neighbors means I can only record at night when it's warm out. My cat has to cooperate, which is a minor miracle in and of itself. And I have a slight stuttering problem, which in public I've managed to hide my entire life by only speaking when I have to, and now I hide with the magic of video editing. Because every condition has to be right, that part of the process can take a long time. So I'd say for every 10 minutes I record, it takes me about a half hour on a bad day. Step 4 is the actual editing phase. First, I trim out the parts of the video where I paused for too long, misspoke, stuttered, repeated myself, a plane flew overhead, and where my cat decided to be an asshole. This takes about an hour for every 10 minutes. After that, I have to source my memes. Thankfully, I have an ever-expanding collection at this point, so it doesn't take me as long as it used to. But new topics means new needs, so I probably spend about an hour for every 10 minutes on this as well. Then I have to make my intro title, insert said memes, add any video or audio effects, and add my end screen. After all is said and done, it takes about an hour for every 10 minutes on this as well. Step 5 is rendering the video. I have a template set up for that, so it's usually just a couple of mouse clicks and the rest takes care of itself. At a snail's pace of about 45 minutes for every 10-minute video because I'm doing this in 4K, and my computer needs to be upgraded desperately. Pay me. Step 6 is uploading to YouTube. Plugging in the description, tags, finalizing my end screen, and figuring out when I want the video to release. Total time? About 15 minutes of actual work on my part. And finally, when drop day comes, I take the link to my video and plug it around social media, which usually takes me about 2 hours per video. And that's it. Adding it all up, 10-minute video takes me roughly 9 to 10 hours worth of work. Should I call it work though? On the one hand, it's not like I'm laying down asphalt in the blistering sun. It's not like I have a boss hanging over my head demanding I meet weekly quotas or anything. On the other hand, I'm disabled. Those 9 to 10 hours are spread out over the course of a week, maybe more, because I can't guarantee that I'm not going to have a migraine come along and literally blind me for an hour if I stare at a screen for too long. I don't know if my PTSD is going to make me so scatterbrained or anxious that thinking about anything other than my impending demise is an impossibility. So maybe it isn't work in the traditional sense of the word, but it's something that's helped me learn new skills, such as the video and video editing work that I'm using for the first time here, practicing old skills like semi-pseudo-public speaking, and making content that hopefully puts a smile on someone's face. And I personally think that's rewarding enough no matter what you want to call it. So thanks for tuning in.